Hello and welcome to Moneylife News and Views. I'm Debashis Basu. On September 19th, the US President Donald Trump dropped a new bombshell. He ordered that all new petitions for H-1B visas should be filed, that is normally filed on behalf of workers outside America, would now carry a $100,000 fee. The measure, which will last for a year unless renewed, is aimed at deterring firms from sponsoring foreign workers, particularly in entry level roles. Its immediate impact will fall disproportionately on Indians who account for roughly three quarters of all H1B recipients. There's a lot of confusion whether the systems comes into effect right now, whether anybody who has already an H1B visa but it's outside the country will have to rush back on Sunday night. But all those things were clarified within an hour when the president said that this existing visas don't get affected, only new petitions. That also is not very clear whether it is a number of employees under one petition or per head of $100,000, or whether it's a yearly fee or a one-time fee. H-1B visas normally last for 3 years. In any case, under the current system, H-1B system, firms petition the governments for the right to hire foreign workers in specialty occupations, often in technology or engineering. Now, this has created a huge boom. Outsourcing giants such as Infosys, TCS, Wipro, and HCL from India, long reliant on sending junior engineers to America, are likely to be hit. By contrast, firms that may still pay up for specialists in fields such as artificial intelligence, chip design, biotechnology, or cybersecurity, a very, very small number of people where domestic talent, that is US talent, is not available or scarce, and salaries are high enough to justify the new cost of $100,000. The new fee reshapes mobility for a substantial slice of India's professional diaspora. All these months, Trump's trade negotiations have focused on merchandise exports, making export-oriented countries like China, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Vietnam particularly vulnerable. To escape disaster, they quickly struck deals with Trump, some promising impossibly large investments and jobs. India refused to either give in or make false promises to mollify Trump, probably because it thought it had less to lose. But India is more vulnerable than others. Software exports and remittances from abroad, mainly the US, are the lifesavers for the perennially weak Indian rupee. Without these two, economic growth will be hit noticeably. Trump has gently twisted India's arm with a new H-1B fee. He can do more harm, including imposing a remittance tax. The White House argues that the program is being abused and it has a lot of facts on its side. The order accuses US companies, without naming them, of laying off Americans while hiring foreigners at low wages with specific details. When you relate them to real life, Microsoft, Intel, Amazon, and Salesforce are possibly the culprits the White House is talking about, and they have approved thousands of H-1B visas even while cutting tens of thousands of domestic jobs. American firms plead for access to foreign talent even as they dismiss local workers, creating the perception of a program skewed in favor of cost savings over skill. Now, the question is, will this last? Well, I think India should hope it does. The market will suffer a knee-jerk reaction and tech stocks will possibly keep drifting lower thanks to the new cost. But will this restriction last? And if it does, will it turn out to be positive for India after all? First, there will be a pushback from within the US. At one stroke, Silicon Valley has lost its pipeline of talent. Yeah, totally and hugely dependent on Indian engineers. In 2023, around 65% of H-1B visas were for computer-related roles, as software engineers, systems analysts, etc. Top sponsors of H-1B visas are Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Meta, Apple, and also large Indian firms operating in the US, such as Tata Consultancy Services. Startups, hospitals, research labs, and financial services firms also rely heavily on H-1B workers. The surcharge will raise costs, discourage new hires, and slow down the onboarding of talent for projects that require scarce skills. High-tech innovation may slow, if the pipeline from abroad dries up. Finally, litigation is likely. It is possible that the US courts may strike down or amend the measure significantly. After all, there is a view that Trump does not have the authority to impose such surcharge. It is up to the Congress. Paradoxically enough, if the restriction lasts, however, it may actually benefit India. Multinationals are already investing in global capability centers in India to tap talent without the hassle of immigration. India hosts roughly 1,700 GCCs, employing 1.9 million people and generating 64.6 billion in export revenue last year. By 2030, some estimates suggest India could host over 2,400 GCCs, employing close to 3 million. Trump's fee may accelerate that trend. Firms that previously sent employees to America may find it cheaper and simpler to expand offshore centers instead, keeping talent at home while retaining access to global projects. The impact on India could go beyond numbers. With more skilled engineers, data scientists, and product managers remaining in the country, the local talent pool will deepen. Companies are likely to spread operations beyond Tier 1 cities into places such as Coimbatore, Kochi, Ahmedabad, Jaipur, and Bhubaneswar, tapping underutilized talent. India's centers may increasingly take on higher value tasks, R&D, design, product management, rather than just coding or data entry. India's role as a global talent hub will consolidate further. In effect, Trump may think he is hobbling India. In reality, he is nudging it towards a more robust, self-reliant, and globally integrated model. The H-1B fee is both a thorn and a stimulus, costly for American firms reliant on imported labor, inconvenient for Indian workers dreaming of Silicon Valley, but potentially a boon for India's domestic economy. The unintended consequences of Trump's protectionism may turn out to be more generous than its intent. If you like this video, please do subscribe. Thanks for watching.